radioactive decay as a follow-up to work which was covered in a S level, which was focusing on the nucleus. It was focusing on the nucleus. Then it was also focusing on isotopes. We looked at isotopes. Then we also looked at nuclear processes. So this part and the content involved is assumed knowledge. So I just want someone to come and draw or to tell us what do we find in the nucleus of an atom. Yes, okay.
We find protons and neutrons.
Right. In the nucleus, where do we find the nucleus? Yes?
Center of the atom.
At the center of the atom. So we have our atom, then at the center, that's where we have our protons and neutrons. Suppose we can represent protons as red, then neutrons as green. So they are found at the center of the atom. And what is the collective name of protons and neutrons? Right? We know that the atom will have some shells or orbits where we will have electrons orbiting about the nucleus. But this one is our nucleus, and that's where we are going to focus, because under nuclear physics we'll be focusing on nuclear processes, which we'll look at. Right. So who can tell us the collective name of protons and neutrons? Yes? They are collectively known as nucleons simply because they are found in the nucleus. That's why we call them nucleons. Right, fine. The other important aspect which we want to, you must know is assumed knowledge are isotopes. Who can define isotopes? Rebecca.
Atoms are the same elements with the same proton number but different neutron numbers.
Thank you very much. We know that for an atom to belong to a certain element, we look at the proton number or total number of protons. That's what defines an atom, or that's what places an atom to fall under a certain element. But now, it happens that we can have a situation whereby we have two or more atoms having identical proton numbers but having different number of neutrons. Are we together? In as far as chemical reactions are concerned, the proton number affects number of electrons, so it affects the chemical reactions which are going to be undertaken by a particular element. So that's why, because the number of protons determines the number of electrons in a neutron atom, and the number of electrons determines the arrangement of electrons, and this is what determines the chemical reactions which can take place. But when we are looking at nuclear processes, it's slightly different, as you'll see shortly. Right. Then, into today's business, we want to look at what is known as mass excess and nuclear binding energy. Right. When we look at mass excess, we are looking at a situation whereby, let's take an example. We said we find protons and neutrons, and these are found inside the nucleus. They make up the nucleus. So common sense is it that we must expect the mass of an individual neutron. I mean, if we multiply or add up all masses of individual neutrons, we will expect them to be equal to the total mass of the nucleus they are making. But it's different. Are we together? So we want to find out why is it different. Right. So let's move on into. Right. So by definition now, we are saying mass defect is the change in mass. It could be the change as we are moving from reactants to products. And here, mind you, we are focusing on nuclear processes. So we are focusing on the nucleus. Are we clear? So we are saying as the nucleus reacts, we have a change from in mass from reactants to products. We will look at that shortly, but in the first place we want to also acknowledge to the fact that the masses we are looking at under the nuclear process are very small masses, because mind you, protons are very small. They are small, tiny particles. The same with neutrons. So now the masses are really small, and they are difficult to deal with at that small level. So we can redefine a certain quantity. From now going onwards, we are going to be dealing with a certain quantity which we call the atomic mass unit, which is a more convenient mass to deal with when we are dealing with our calculations in nuclear physics. Mind you, we'll be dealing with very small masses, right? So now the atomic mass unit is just defined as being equal to 1/12 of the mass of carbon 12 atom, right, as a standard, right? So from that definition, we will realize that one atomic mass unit, the symbol for atomic mass unit is U. Some call it the arm. Atomic mass unit, U. You can also call it the arm. It has got the value 1 U is equal to 1.66 times 10 to the power minus 27 kgs. I think you can acknowledge that this is a very small mass. So we are dealing with very small masses here, right? Then we can approximate the proton and the neutron to have the same mass, but at this level, actually the rest masses of a proton and of a neutron are different. Are we together? And we are referring to rest masses. Why? Because we know that the mass changes as the particles are moving. The more kinetic energy a particle has, the larger the mass. So the rest mass will be smaller than the what? The mass of a moving particle. And mind you, it's very significant here because we are dealing with very small masses. Are we together, class? Right. So now, the rest mass of a proton is found to be 1.007276 U. Then that one of a neutron, it's 1.008665 U. Of course, we can look at the mass of an electron, but we know the mass of an electron is very small, so that we normally consider it negligible. And especially the fact that we are dealing with processes which are occurring in the nucleus, we don't look at the mass of an electron because we don't have electrons inside the nucleus. But however, we can also look at the mass of an electron at this part as 0.000549 U. So these are the masses which we'll be dealing with. Right. Now, let's just, as an exercise, I just want you to try this one. You know helium. I want you to work the total mass of helium nucleus. Just do that and tell me the answer. I want you to have your answer in terms of U, not necessarily kgs, but you are going to give your answer in U. Okay, I think now you will have the answer. Margaret, can you tell us your answer?
Not yet done.
Okay, go ahead. New.
4.03182.
So the answer is 4.0.
3
Yes?
182
H2.
U.
So this is the mass. But now let me tell you, this is the expected mass according to the constituents of the helium nucleus. But this is not the mass of helium. Are we together? Because mind you, we are looking at the concept of mass defect. So now, let me give you the actual mass of helium. Right, the mass of helium is actually 4.001508 U. That's the mass of helium. 4.001508 U. Right. I think if you compare these numbers, you will actually see that mass of helium nucleus is less than the total sum of the rest masses of the individual nucleons. Are we together? It's less than that. If we were to subtract, what do we get? 0. What? 0.0374 U. It might appear as if it's a small difference, but it's really important for the processes which are happening in nuclear physics. Right. So now, the difference between expected mass and the actual mass is the one which we call the mass defect. So by definition, mass defect is the difference, you can write that down if you want, is the difference between expected mass and the actual mass. That's the mass defect. So in this case, our reactants are the nucleons, because the nucleons are the ones which come together to form the nucleus. So our product becomes the what? The helium nucleus in our case. Are we together? So we're saying the reactants have got a greater mass than the product. Right. So mass defect of a nucleus is the difference between the total mass of separate nucleons, like what I said, and the combined mass of the nucleus. So now, another part, can you do the following? Calculate the mass defect of carbon 14 nucleus. If you are given that the measured mass of carbon 14 nucleus is 14.003240 U. Can you do that? Can you just quickly calculate that so that we can move on? And work it out on the board with the help of the class. Please come. Don't worry, the class will give you the masses of what? Please, class, help me with the masses of the individual nucleons, their rest masses. The masses are here.
So,
Yes. Carbon is in group 6, so it has got 6. Yes. So it must have 8 neutrons. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Good.
What's the rest mass of the protein?
1.00727.
And then 8 neutrons. And the rest mass of the neutrons?
Double, I'm going to double 0H665.
Can I get
You can assist him. What's the answer then? As for me, I got 0.109736.
yeah, that's the one.
So I think you see that it's really easy to calculate the mass defect. So thank you. Let's move on. Right. Let's look to what is known as mass energy equivalence. Maybe before we look at mass energy equivalence, I think at this point everyone is wondering why do we have a mass defect? Because we normally expect the mass to be the same. Are we together? Right. Then the other thing which I need to remind you, which we looked at when we were doing AS, we said for nuclear processes, there's mass energy conservation. Are we together? Which means we can have an interchange between mass and energy, which means we can convert energy to its equivalent mass or mass to its equivalent energy. This we do using Albert Einstein's equation. What does it say? Who still remembers? Mutsawashi. E is equal to mc squared. So that's the equation. This is the equation for converting between what? Mass and energy. So this will be energy in what units? In joules. Thank you very much. Are we together? So who can tell us another unit of energy which you know? Yes, Panache. Electron volts. So another unit is electron volts. Who can tell us the conversion between joules and electron volts? 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6 times 10 to the power minus 19 joules. What about 1 mega electron volt? 1.6 times 10 to the power minus 13 joules. Fine, we'll look at that. It's only that it's a reminder. So, if we're looking at mass defect, you can say, okay, change in energy is equal to change in mass. So, if mass has increased, it means energy would have decreased. Are we together? Because this energy is going when the nucleus decreases its mass by this much, it will release this energy. Are we together? Right, we need to be careful there. Maybe if you want to write notes, you can write that part. So we are saying Albert Einstein proposed that there is an equivalence between mass and energy, and that equivalence is given by the relationship E is equal to mc squared, as you have referred to. Right. Everyone knows that E is the energy equivalent, then M is the mass, then C is the speed of light in free space, which is approximately 3 times 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Right, I want you to look at that question. We are still making a follow-up on helium. Can you please answer that question? I will I'll just give you 2 minutes. Then Blessing will come and explain on the board. Can you quickly do that? But you need to write down what is it. Okay, you can wait out towards till you finish that.
You get 4.54 times 10 to the negative 11.
Times 10 to the power.
Negative 11. Joules.
Okay, John, you can come to the board and convert this number into electron volts and mega electron volts. Just come and convert it and explain to the class. Yeah, convert. You can go and sit down. Class? It's correct.
Yes.
So the conversion, you just to get from joules to electron volts, you divide by 1.6 by 10 to the power minus 19. If you are converting from joules to mega electron volts, you divide by 1.6 times 10 to the power minus 20. Right. Now, I think on that part we are done. Of course, we defined the rest mass. We are saying the rest mass of an object is the mass of an object or of a body when it is stationary, when it is not moving. That's the rest mass. Now, we want to look at what is known as binding energy. Right. The background of binding energy comes from the fact that we are saying here, when reactions take place or when processes take place, they try to go into the lowest energy state as possible. Are we together? For example, in gravitational fields, objects tend to go from a high gravitational potential energy to low gravitational potential energy. Are we together? Right. So here, when we are looking at binding energy now, we are looking at a situation whereby when a reaction, mind you, when I'm saying a reaction, I'm referring to a nuclear reaction, because we are looking at the reaction which is taking place in the nucleus. Are we together?
Yes.
When a reaction is taking place, the new products are expected to have lower energy. Are we together? I'm saying the products are supposed to have lower energy compared to the reactants, so that the products are more stable compared to the reactants. So that products are more stable compared to the reactants. So now, for the nucleus or for the nuclei to achieve that, they have to release energy. Are we together? But as they release energy, the energy is going to be some of the mass which would have been converted into energy. So that energy released when a nucleus is formed is the one which we refer to as what? Binding energy. So when a nucleus is formed, there is going to be a change in mass, because that mass is going to be converted into the energy equivalent required to form binding energy. Are we together? Right, as follows. So we are saying within the nucleus there are strong forces which bind protons and neutrons together, which means we have got forces which bind nucleons together, being protons and neutrons. Right. So now, the energy required to separate all nucleons so that they become totally independent of one another is the one which we call binding energy. Are we together? We are saying energy, which we are using conservation of energy. Mind you, when the nucleus was formed, the energy which was required to bring all nucleons together to form one nucleus, we also call it what? Binding energy. But in the process of forming a nucleus, the energy is emitted. When it is emitted, we see it as a decrease in mass, which we call mass defect. Out together. But now when you want to split the nucleus into separate nucleons, into independent nucleons, that is individual protons, neutrons, you have to supply energy. Are we together? The energy you have to supply must be equal to the energy which was released when they were brought together. And that is what we call binding energy. Are we together there? Right. So, Stable nuclei, which have little or no tendency to disintegrate, you have large binding energies, whereas less stable nuclei, you have smaller binding energies. Let me try to expand on this. You know, if we were to take objects in a gravitational field, those which are at high level compared to those which are at low level, those at high level are less stable since they've got more gravitational potential energy. Mind you, systems prefer to go to lowest energy state. Are we together? So those which are at high level, they have got what? Greater what? They are less stable since they've got greater potential energy or greater energy. So the same here. Are we together? Those with small binding energy, it means they've just lost a little amount of mass or energy, binding energy, so they are less stable. But those with larger binding energy, it means they are in even more stable state or in even lower state. So they are more stable. Any questions there? Right. Okay, thank you. Let's move on. So now, like I said, when we are separating, we need energy which is equivalent to binding energy. So the same goes when we are combining nucleons together. The energy which is going to be released is going to be equal to binding energy. So the binding energy is the equivalent of the mass defect as we referred to earlier on. Right. So referring again to the helium example, since the energy equivalent of the mass defect is 28.4 mega electron volts, which is the binding energy, 28.4 mega electron volts is that energy which will require nucleons to be separated to infinity. Who can tell us what do we mean that we are separating nucleons, that is protons and neutrons, to infinity? What do we mean? What do we mean if we are saying we require energy to separate nucleons to infinity? What do we mean by infinity? Chakuzwa.
Outside the range of the nucleic force.
Yeah, you can project your voice.
They'll be outside the range of the nucleic force.
Thank you very much. So that's when now there's no more nuclear force of attraction between the individual nucleons. We are saying they are now at infinite, outside the range of the nuclear forces. Are we together? Right. So this one was answered. Yes, calculate the binding energy in mega electron volts of carbon 14 with a mass defect. That one, I think, but it's similar to the one which we just done, so we can move on. Right. Let's look at stability of nuclei. Right. Within the nucleus of an atom, the nucleons experience two major forces. One which is attractive, the other one which is repulsive. Right. Now, from your AS physics, you know that protons and neutrons, they are also called hadrons. You still remember? Protons and neutrons are also called what? Hadrons. And they are affected by strong nuclear force of attraction, which keeps them together. But still, protons and neutrons, they are within a very small space, which means proton and a proton are still close together. They will suffer a repulsive force, which we call Douglas. What is the name of the repulsive force between a proton and a proton? Because of their similar charges. Yes, we can call it a Coulombic force, which is what? Electrostatic force of repulsion. Because like charges repel and unlike charges attract. But we know that a proton and a proton, they've got similar charge, so they'll repel. And these forces, we cannot ignore them. Right. So now the nuclear force, it acts like a glue which holds the nucleons together. But a nuclear force is a what? Short range force. It's important to keep in mind that a nuclear force is a short range force, while a coulombic force or an electrostatic force is a long-range force. Short-range, it means it's going to act over a small distance. Long-range, it acts over a large distance. I think you can see if the nucleus becomes larger and larger, you realize that the effect of nuclear force of attraction, especially to those nucleons towards the periphery of the nucleus, is going to be less pronounced. But still, the coulombic forces are going to be quite significant because they are long-range forces. Are we together? You will see what it means. So the repulsive forces are the electric forces between the positively charged protons, which is a long-range force. Right. So the strong force is strong enough to overcome the coulombic repulsion between protons. Otherwise, the protons would what? Would repel, and the nucleus will disintegrate. Are we together? Right. Stability of a nucleus is determined by the equilibrium between the two forces. Mind you, if forces are in equilibrium, it means objects or particles will remain at rest, or they will remain moving with uniform velocity. Are we together? So now, to keep the nucleons together, the forces acting on the nucleons should be what? Balanced up. Are we together? That is the opposing forces here, they should be balancing. Right? So, stability of a nucleus is determined by the equilibrium between these forces. Stable nuclei have much larger attractive forces than repulsive forces. So if the attractive term is larger compared to the repulsive term, then the nucleus is stable. Are we together? But if the opposite occurs, the nucleus becomes unstable and it has got the highest probability of disintegrating class. Right. So stable nuclei generally have approximately the same number of protons to neutrons. That is, the neutron to proton ratio is 1. So for nucleus to be stable, the ratio of what? Number of neutrons to number of protons should be approximately equal to 1. So those nuclei with that ratio almost close to 1, they will be very stable. But those which deviate, they will be unstable. The nucleus, the ratio can deviate by having either too many protons compared to neutrons, or too many neutrons compared to protons. And in both cases, the nucleus will be what? Unstable, and it will be likely to undergo some nuclear processes so that it forms a more stable what? Nucleus or nuclei. Are we together? Right. Now, a useful measure of stability is what we call nuclear binding energy per what? It's binding energy per nucleon. Are we together? Right. So we are saying binding energy per nucleon is a measure of the stability of what? Of the nucleus. The larger the binding energy per nucleon, the more stable the nucleus is. Are we together? But so far we didn't define the binding energy per nucleon. Who wants to try to define the binding energy per nucleon? The same person. Rutherford, can you define the binding energy per nucleon?
It's the total energy needed to separate all the nucleus in the all the nucleons in the nucleus. Sorry, all the nucleons in the nucleus divided by the number of neutrons in the nucleus.
Yeah, it's correct. Right. It's quite mouthful. We are saying total energy required to completely separate nucleons divided by number of nucleons. But going backwards a bit, total energy required to completely separate nucleons, what's the special name? Is binding energy. So it's simply what? Binding energy divided by number of nucleons. Are we together? So binding energy per nucleon is what? Binding energy divided by number of nucleons class. Right. So like what I said, we are saying the most stable nuclides are those with the highest binding energy per nucleon. As you see, I will show you a graph very soon. You realize that elements like iron, they have got very stable nucleus, right? So typically very stable nuclides have binding energies per nucleon of about 8 mega electron volts. Right, that graph is showing us some isotopes and their stability. You realize that this line is the line which represents the most stable what? Nucleus out here. But now you see that as the nuclei are getting bigger or as they are getting bulky, they deviate from this line way of stability, right? I think you can see that, right? So there will be, it's broad wide because we've got so many isotopes. That's why it's wide like that. But I will not focus so much on that. You need to have an idea about that one. But if you look at this line, what can you say about this line? General. Along this line, you find that here we've got number of protons and here we've got number of neutrons. Can you see that the ratio along this line is 1:1? So that's one thing which you need to take note of. Right. The other graph which I wanted us to see is this one. Right, if you're to plot, it's unfortunate, maybe, are you able to see the graph? Is it visible enough? Okay, thank God. Right, I think you can see what's happening. For small nuclei, they've got very small binding energy per nucleon, which means they are also not stable altogether. But they are getting more and more stable as we approach this peak. You get it? But now, beyond this peak, the bulk nuclei become less and less stable like that. Are we together? So the most stable is around this peak. Are we together, class? Right. Now, but we said is unstable. It has a tendency to react to form more stable nucleus or more stable nuclei. Are we together? So now, with small nucleus or small nuclei, they will react by a reaction known as fusion. They will undergo nuclear fusion reaction. Then they will form more stable nucleus. Are we together? Then with those very large nuclei, they will undergo, who is this one? It's okay, Margaret. They will undergo fission. Are we together? Right, we're going to define fusion. Nuclear fusion and nuclear fission. Okay, bless you.
This is the process by which two very lightly nuclei join together to form one heavy nucleus.
Which one is that?
Fusion.
Nuclear fusion. Come again.
This is the process by which two very lightly nuclei join together to form one heavy nucleus.
Also, two small nuclei combine or join together to form one large and more stable nucleus. Are we together? But mind you, if we are moving to less stable, going to more stable state, what happens? What did we say? Energy is lost. And energy lost is going to be picked up as some mass defect or some decrease in what? Mass. Are we together? So which means the total mass of the individual nuclei is going to be larger than the total mass of the resultant nucleus. Go ahead, define nuclear fission.
The process by which massive nucleus split into two smaller fragments.
Only that.
It's the breaking down of the large and stable nucleus to two smaller, more stable nuclei.
Which are approximately
Approximately the same size.
the same size, and there will be release of what?
Energy, radiation.
Energy and some radiation. Are we together? Right. Now, can you just attempt that question? It's another example. We just looked at binding energy per nucleon, but we never looked at one example to calculate. Can you just go ahead and calculate? Douglas, you're going to come and show us the calculation of the body. So what are the units here? Who can comment? Is everything okay? It's not okay. Okay, Tony, can you come and assist us and tell us where you find that there is a problem, and tell us. You can use the red mark.
I think the problem is here, like the number that is divided with. Already 28.4 is our binding energy. And our formula for the binding energy per nucleon is binding energy divided by the total number of nucleons in the nucleus. So the binding energy is 28.4 divided by 4, which is the total number of nucleons in the nucleus.
which is 7.0 something, 7.1.
Okay, you can assist him. So the answer is what? Mega electron volts per nucleon. He wanted to use joules per nucleon. So go ahead and do that. Class, please assist it. So what did you get?
1.34 times 10 to the
Right, thank you very much. I think as you can see, this whole thing is equivalent to this. So she replaced, she substituted and multiplied to get this one. But it's joules per what? Nucleon. Are we together? I think we looked at fusion and fission. Right. We are saying for a system to become stable, it tends to give out energy so that it has less energy content. Get it? So now, the forward arrow is we must be moving from what? High energy to less energy so that the system becomes what? More stable. Because always systems, they try to achieve stability. So here it's just a comparison between chemical reaction. You know, when you've got a chemical reaction, the total energy of reactants will be larger than the total energy of products. Most of us do chemistry, okay, right? And we can also compare with what? Mechanical systems. Suppose we've got a cylinder which is lying like this. Can you see it's difficult to put it in place? But otherwise, when it's vertical like this, it is unstable, out here, but it has got more energy, out here. So for it to achieve stability, it falls and loses some energy, attaining a lower energy state, hence more stable. Are we together? Right. So now, nuclei may combine or fuse to form larger nuclei with larger binding energies per nucleon in a process which we call nuclear fusion. But this process now, it requires conditions of extremely high pressure and high temperature. Who can guess why? Who can suggest why do we need, especially conditions of what? High pressure and high temperature. Yes, for fusion to take place, we need high pressure. For example, that's the process which takes place in the sun. You get it? Yes, Mutsawash.
We need high pressure so that particles are closer together. And then the temperature for to overcome the repulsive forces so that they can fuse together.
Right. The only problem is your voice projection, but otherwise you can come again much louder.
For fusion, I think we need high pressures for the nuclear and the nuclear particles to come closer together for fusion to take place, and then high temperature for overcoming the repulsive forces, which is the positive nuclear.
Thank you very much. As a follow-up to your answer, let's just move together as a class. One thing which you need to know, fusion is the coming together of what? Nuclei. How together? But these, what charge do they have? They all have a similar charge, which is what? Positive. And what is the effect of having an identical charge. Repulsion. Which means we need to force the nucleus the two nuclei to come together. You get it? Mind you, you still remember from your AS, the strong nuclear force of attraction is what? Short range force, altogether. So now we need to force the two nuclei to come together within each other's what? Region where the strong nuclear force of attraction is what? Felt, altogether. Once we do that, they will then attract and come together, altogether. But in the process, they will release energy. For the process to be meaningful, if we were to come up with a plant to harness energy from nuclear fusion, it means mind you, we are investing energy by what? We want to increase temperature. So we are putting in energy to increase temperature. So at the end of the day, the energy we have invested in increasing temperature should be less than the energy we harness, the total energy we harness when the reaction is taken place. Are we together? Right. It only makes sense because we need to be economic here. Right. So if nuclei when bombarded with neutrons may break into two or smaller nuclei, again with a larger binding energy per nucleon values in the process called nuclear fission. Right. Now, nuclear fission takes place when we've got a large nucleus. Are we together? And the other condition for nuclear fission to take place, the ratio of protons to neutrons should deviate so much from unity. Are we together? So now, artificially, we can do what are called induced nuclear fission processes. We can capitalize. Suppose we look at uranium, we can have an isotope of uranium whose ratio of neutrons to protons maybe say around 1.5. Are we together? Then the nucleus is already unstable. You get it? So chances are high that if we fire a neutron, we are further upsetting the ratio. Are we together? So that further upset gives a high probability of that nucleus disintegrating in a fission process, releasing energy. And that's the process which is used in nuclear reactors. Are we together? In nuclear power stations. Right. So fission rarely happens spontaneously, so we normally induce it. So whenever nuclear fusion or fission takes place, the nuclear numbers of the nuclei involved change, then a higher binding energy is achieved. And this is accompanied by a large release of what? Energy. We have an enormous amount of energy being released. Class, to this end, we just want to give you some homework so that you can go and do that homework. Then you will meet tomorrow. We have a lesson tomorrow. Then we will continue from there to the end of the chapter. So just hold on so that I can give you your homework just now. So please take down the questions. Oh, which part? This one. Okay, I think you can do that part and end in that way before you go home. Thank you very much. Let's meet tomorrow. We'll start from there. Moving on, hopefully we'll look at radioactivity and we'll also be able to calculate things such as applied. We'll be able to calculate and define things such as activity. Make sure you come prepared. Go and research, but otherwise we'll look at those.
Definitely identification of it. So we talk of what is called clonal selection. Right? So you have several clones of what? Of the B lymphocytes in your system. So when an antigen gets into your system, we have clonal selection. Now, after clonal selection, what happens? We talk of clonal expansion, which involves what process? How do you actually have these clones now expanding?
They multiply by mitosis.
Right, we are having